Today we're going to talk about Trump's aggressive posture on Greenland, why it's a distraction, and yet why it's still worth talking about. And I've got two interviews. I speak with Cara Swisher about whether Tesla can ever recover, and why Elon would torch his reputation when his consumer base is liberals. And I speak with Ezra Klein about his new book Abundance, and what the Democrats can learn from it. I'm Brian Tyler Cohen, and you're watching No Lie. There's a non-zero chance that the Greenland threats coming out of the Trump administration are a distraction, but I want to talk about it anyway, and there's a very specific reason why. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But first, I want to lay out what we are seeing as it relates to Greenland. JD and his wife Usha Vance, I guess, have been deputized to serve as the colonizer ambassadors, and so they've both been to the country. Usha was there this past week for what the White House was calling a cultural visit, and yet her advance team, I suppose, was apparently going door to door in Greenland looking for someone, anyone, to host her, and literally nobody would. And so Usha's cultural visit was cut short because apparently Greenlanders didn't want to make nice with the lady who wants to colonize them. And that was bad and embarrassing, but not quite as bad and embarrassing as this.
The president said today that we have to have Greenland. By being here today, are you also conveying that message that the U.S. is very serious in its desire to acquire Greenland?
Well, the president said we have to have Greenland, and I think that we do have to be more serious about the security of Greenland. We can't just ignore this place. We can't just ignore the president's desires.
We can't ignore the president's desires. Right, of course. President Trump desires Greenland, and if Daddy Trump wants it, Daddy Trump gets it. Right, JD? And so what, is Vance prepared to declare war if Greenland doesn't accede to his demands? Are we going to attack a NATO ally? Does the United States go from a country defending sovereign countries to one that invades them? We're not even 100 days into Trump's presidency, and this administration has completely upended the world order that is responsible for the longest period of peace and prosperity in history. And the excuses they've given are hilarious because none of them make any sense. They've said that Greenlanders want it, and they couldn't make that less abundantly clear that they don't. Usha Vance literally could not find a single person willing to even talk to her. The notion that these people want to be colonized is a farce. The White House then said that we need it for our national security. Let me ask you this. Do you think that it's good for our national security that all of our allies are now announcing that the era of cooperation and alliance with the United States is over in light of this new saber rattling? Do you think net we come out in a stronger position if we start trying to annex sovereign countries? Let's not miss the forest for the trees here. Not only would that not help our national security, it would make us a pariah in the international community and virtually isolate us on the world stage. That isn't how you fix something, it is expressly how you break it. Now, I mentioned at the top that the Greenland thing is a distraction, and it may very well be. It's still more unlikely than not that the U.S. invades Greenland, and there's also good reason to distract. The stock market is tanking, Trump's approval just flipped to net negative, Republicans just lost 2 seats in Pennsylvania state legislature, one that flipped an R+15 district blue, and another that officially gave Democrats a 1-seat majority in the state house. And Trump just pulled Elise Stefanik's nomination to be U.S. ambassador to the United Nations because he was afraid that a Republican candidate would lose her House seat in a district that Trump himself carried by 21 points. But there's a specific reason why I made the conscious decision to fall into Trump's trap and discuss Greenland when all of this shit is going on. And here's why. It's because during the campaign, Trump promised Americans that he would lower costs on day one, that he understood your pain, that he heard you that housing was too high and rent was too high and groceries were too high and eggs were too high. And yet, since he's taken office, we have watched as Trump sparked a trade war that's only sent prices surging even higher. We've watched as the stock market has tanked, 401ks have begun plummeting, inflation's begun surging, costs have gone up, and despite all of that, what has Trump done to fix any of that? Not a single thing. In fact, every single day he makes it worse. The market crashes even more, costs continue to rise, and yet all the while, look where his focus is. It is on annexing Greenland. You're hurting, and the guy who took office on the express promise to lower costs is watching them rise, and his solution is to try and annex the sovereign territory of an allied country? That's why I want to talk about Greenland, because Trump won the presidency by exploiting Americans' economic anxieties, and yet not only has he exacerbated that pain, which would already be disqualifying enough unto itself, but rather than bother to fix it, look where his attention is. It's on fucking Greenland. Which is to say, this guy does not care about you. He is not trying to make your life better. He is fucking around, causing problems, trying to build up his legacy and feed his ego, and you're footing the bill for it. So I understand that Greenland may very well be a trap, but I don't think that Donald Trump took into account the consequences of setting it, because it shows his voters that while they're hurting on the one thing that Trump promised he'd fix, he's focused instead on something so insane, so dangerous, so unnecessary that it only sends one message to his supporters, that he just does not care about their problems. And the Republican Party isn't going to lift a finger to do anything about it because their allegiance isn't to their constituents, not to their voters, it is to Donald Trump himself. Something to remember for voters out there, left, right, and center, who are looking to send a message to people who will exploit you for your votes and then refuse to show up when it actually matters. Next up are previews of my interviews with Cara Swisher and Ezra Klein, but just a quick note, on one video per week, this one, my video podcast, No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen, there are sponsors, so here's a quick word from some sponsors, and then previews of those interviews with Cara Swisher and Ezra Klein. No Lie is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen. We've all seen what happens with old doors and windows that are rotting or rusting or chipping. First of all, for somebody like me, just seeing it is a major eyesore and is something that I will fixate on every time I walk by. But more broadly, seeing these windows and doors that are in bad shape, they can become drafty and inefficient, which also leads to higher energy bills. Well, Renewal by Andersen has more 5-star reviews than other leading full-service window replacement companies, and more than 500,000 homeowners recommend Renewal by Andersen. Renewal by Andersen is both the manufacturer and installer of their windows and doors. They do it all for the homeowner, meaning no hassle and a headache-free process. And the windows and doors are custom built in the U.S. And Renewal by Andersen offers limited, fully transferable warranty coverage because they stand behind quality and their work for years to come. And introducing the new ensemble entry doors made exclusively by Renewal by Andersen. The new entry door gives you endless options and is a great addition to your window replacement project for a new look for your entire home. Right now, Renewal by Andersen is offering this special offer during their spring savings event. Buy one window or door and get one 40% off plus an additional $45 off each window or door with a minimum purchase of 4. Text BTC to 400-400 to get a free in-home consultation on quality, affordable windows and doors for no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 1 year. That's BTC to 400-400 for this great deal on replacement windows and doors. These savings won't last long, so be sure to check it out by texting BTC to 400-400. That's BTC to 400-400. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. No Lie is brought to you by Via. Life moves fast, and sometimes you need a way to relax, recharge, or stay focused without overcomplicating things. That's where Via comes in. If you haven't tried them yet, you're seriously missing out. Whether you need to unwind, refocus, or boost your mood, Via is here to enhance your everyday. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, Via is changing the game in natural wellness, blending powerful, high-quality hemp-derived ingredients to deliver real, effect-driven benefits. Whether you're looking to support your daily wellness routine, enhance focus and clarity, or unwind with deep relaxation, Via has you covered. From their award-winning effect-forward gummies to calming drops, every Via product is thoughtfully crafted, made with organic, lab-tested hemp sourced from trusted, independent, American-owned farms. And the best part, Via legally ships across the U.S. Discreet, direct to your door, no medical card required, and backed by a worry-free guarantee. Not sure where to start? Take Via's Product Finder quiz to get personalized recommendations tailored to your needs. It can take you less than 60 seconds to complete. So if you're 21 or older, treat yourself to 15% off and get a free gift with your first order using our exclusive code BTC at viahemp.com. Plus, enjoy free shipping on orders over $100. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Their products range from 0 milligrams to 100 milligrams of THC, so these guys have you covered whether you're looking to microdose or enjoy more potent effects. If you're 21 or older, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code BTC to receive 15% off, free shipping on orders over $100, and if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. After you purchase, they ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Via. Mm-hmm. Can Tesla survive this? And is there a world in which Republicans flock to EVs to compensate for the liberals who have left?
No, they are not. You know, his audience is a particular group of people who believe in climate change, as did Elon Musk many, many years ago. He was quite adamant on it and quite dramatic. And so I think what he's done is the biggest destruction of, well, there's a couple things, because I think it's easy to blame it on nobody likes him, which his negatives are quite high, especially with his customers. When you do things that your customers don't like, it's, the customer is always right, no matter what it is. And I don't think that the people the MAGA groups are not rushing to EVs. They find they're hostile to them, right? And so was Trump until just the other day when he had the car sale on the lawn of the White House. But he was hostile to electric vehicles. And so this is not a group of people that wants to buy these things. They don't even want to buy the Cybertruck, which is sort of in their genre, right? They've only sold 45,000 trucks. They were supposed to sell 250,000. They have not. And they've had to recall them all because they were badly glued. And I think the real problem with Tesla is it's a meme stock. And the reason it's as high as it is, which is 134, a PE ratio of 134, which is insane because most car companies are in the single digits, right? PE ratios. Yeah. And so it's a meme stock that's betting on Elon Musk. And one of the things that they're betting on is that he's going to do robo-taxis. Well, the problem is Waymo's been doing them for several years in San Francisco and other cities. So he doesn't have one robo-taxi on the road, while others are innovating. The second thing is that the cars have not been updated. What you live or die in the car business and the technology business by your latest version. And as good a car, and let me say Teslas are good cars, it's not as good as other new cars that are coming. And so there's all these new competitors now, including in China with BYD. Here, there's plenty of different competitors. They're all growing market share and Tesla's losing it, which is a natural thing for it to happen because it was the only choice. But when you get a choice as a consumer, you want to go with the sexy BMW or the really cool Ford. The Ford has several, the Mach, I think it's the Mach 5, beautiful electric car. And so if you have this Tesla that looks the same year after year and you don't like the guy, you're like, I think I'll get the cool one with the people I kind of like, or I don't care, they don't sit around and insult all manner of people that I happen to like. So that's the other thing. And so the other thing that's then promising is that it's an AI company, that it's a robotics company. And Elon's always promising the next thing. And maybe one of them will be right. And he's saying that the robotics company is what it's going to be. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. He can say what he damn well pleases. And I like that he's like shooting for the moon, but the products aren't there to make up for the market share of this company going down. And then on top of it, he's dislikable. And so you don't want to buy his stuff. That's all.
So walk me through the general top line of this right now of what you were looking to do with Abundance.
So one thing I was looking to do was just explain why the governance outcomes in places where the people I seem to agree with were in charge just weren't better. Right? I was living in California during a lot of this book and trying to think about why do we have a housing crisis like this? Why in a state that is so committed to renewable energy are we so far off from meeting our clean energy targets? What the fuck happened to high-speed rail? And slowly, as I began to work through these questions individually, it got clearer that at the core of every one of them was really the same problem. Liberalism is really good right now at helping people afford things that are plentiful. It is not good at making those things plentiful. So if the problem is we need to send you a check so you can buy the thing out there, we can do that, right? Food stamps work incredibly well. Social Security, great program. Earned income tax credit, fantastic. But when it comes to something like we actually need more houses, we need more public infrastructure, we need these things to be delivered on time and affordably, that was where you began to see a real problem and began to come clear that we just weren't that good as a governing movement at asking a pretty simple question, which is, what do we need more of and how do we get it?
You talk in the book a little bit about the ways in which people are migrating from blue states to red states, specifically from California to Texas. How existential is the lack of housing, for example? How existential is our inability to create what we need to create going to be as far as the politics are concerned?
Oh, man, it's so bad. So look, if you just keep running these trends, right? California, Illinois, New York, the big blue states, they're losing hundreds of thousands of people a year and have been for some time. So if that continues, the way political power works in America is it's apportioned by population. So in the 2030 census, the estimate right now is big blue states are going to lose about 11 to 12 congressional seats and electoral college votes. So
which means that even the blue wall,
so that means
which we couldn't even win this last election cycle.
You imagine a Democrat winning in 2032, every state Kamala Harris won, plus the entire blue wall, which we got to stop calling this thing the blue wall. Like, it's not been a wall for a long time, but plus Michigan.
Nor blue.
Yeah, nor blue. But plus Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, they would still lose the election.
Yeah.
So that's one dimension. But I always want to say to liberals, the problem here is not just the politics. If you are the party that believes itself to be the party of working class families. And in the places where you govern unchallenged, you have made things so unaffordable. You are losing working class families by the droves. Then you are just failing in your fundamental purpose, right? The purpose of politics is to win power, but to win power to make people's lives better.
Yeah.
Right? And so, yeah, on the one hand, if you let this keep going, you're not going to win power. But also, even where you have won power, you're not making people's lives better. And in theory, that's why we're doing this whole fucking thing.
To watch the full interviews with Cara Swisher and Ezra Klein, click the thumbnails right here on the screen or check out the interviews playlist on my YouTube channel. You can also click the link on the screen to listen to the audio version of this episode, and of course to see more of my content, the subscribe button's on the screen as well.